Joy to the World, line 2, tutorial. So this song has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp, and that means you'll have a high 2 on D string or G, D, and A string. I don't think you play on the E string in this particular song. Oh, well, the key does change on page 2. We get 3 sharps in measure 34. So then you will have a high second finger on all the strings. There are some slurs in here, but of course you could do separate bows. Do notice that we have more than one D that we play. For example, we start on a D. That is obviously your open D string. You can see it's pretty low on the staff. But then later, like in measure 9, you have the D that's on the A string with your third finger. Also, we have 3 different A's that we play. In measure 3, you play the lowest A on the violin, which is on the G string with your first finger. And then you have open A, for example, in measure 10. And then later, I think on the next page, we get a high A almost at the very end. Well, measure 50, 1, 2, 3, you have third finger on the E string. So make sure you're always looking at, is the note really low in the music, or if it's up above the staff, obviously it's going to be on the E string. If it's below the staff, it's going to be on G. And if it's sort of in the middle, it's on D or A. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you about is there is a C sharp that is on, no, maybe there isn't. Okay, yes, in measure 7, there is a C sharp that is on the G string. And you have to play that with a high third finger. So I'm going to play measure 7. You have to start with this A. Then you play a high third finger. And then I would play the D with the fourth finger on the G string as well. Okay? So just be aware that has to be a high 3. And then later on page 2, we have some G sharps beginning in measure 36. These are on the D string. You can see it's sort of on the lower end of the staff, so it's on the D string. But because it's a G sharp, since we had a key change in measure 34, now it's a high 3. So measure 36 would sound like this. It's actually the same finger pattern we did on the other page on the G string.